Canada is making a bold move, shifting its oil exports away from the U.S. and toward Japan and China. This comes after rising tensions between Canada and the U.S., fueled by new tariffs and economic disputes. With billions at stake, Canada is rapidly exploring alternative markets, and Asia is emerging as a top contender. But what does this mean for Canada's economy, its relationship with the U.S., and the global energy market? Stay tuned as we break down this major shift and its far-reaching consequences. Earlier this month, tensions between the United States and Canada reached a breaking point after President Donald Trump made a bold decision, announcing steep new tariffs on Canadian imports. He argued that these measures were necessary to address rising concerns over illegal immigration and the escalating fentanyl crisis, two issues dominating the national conversation in the U.S. Under the new policy, all Canadian imports would be hit with a 25% tariff, with energy goods facing a slightly lower 10% tax. These tariffs were set to take effect on February 4th, 2025. Canada wasted no time in responding. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau fired back with a matching 25% tariff on $30 billion worth of American products, targeting everything from beer and bourbon to clothing, sports equipment, and household appliances. But Trudeau made it clear, this was just the beginning. After a review period, he warned Canada could expand tariffs to an additional $125 billion worth of U.S. goods. Just as it seemed like the two countries were heading toward an all-out trade war, diplomatic talks led to an unexpected breakthrough. After intense negotiations, Trump and Trudeau agreed to a temporary truce, delaying the tariffs for 30 days. In return, Canada pledged to strengthen its border security efforts, including appointing a dedicated fentanyl czar to lead the fight against illegal drug trafficking. Both nations also committed to creating a joint task force to crack down on smuggling operations. While this deal offered a temporary sigh of relief, it sparked deep divisions within Canada. Some saw it as a necessary compromise to ease tensions, while others feared it was merely postponing inevitable economic damage. Economists raised alarms, warning that if the tariffs ultimately took effect, they would drive up consumer prices, disrupt critical supply chains, and severely strain the long-standing trade partnership between the two countries. Faced with growing uncertainty, Canada began exploring alternative trade options with a strong focus on Asia. Alberta, the heart of Canada's oil and gas industry, took the lead in reducing reliance on the U.S. market. Japan, a country with an increasing need for energy imports, emerged as a key potential partner. To accelerate this shift, Trudeau convened an economic summit, bringing together business leaders, policy experts, and labor unions to strategize ways to diversify trade. Among the proposed initiatives were efforts to strengthen domestic commerce and reconsider previously abandoned energy projects, with the goal of making it easier for Canadian oil and gas to reach global markets. Public opinion in Canada also shifted dramatically. Fresh polling data revealed that a staggering 90% of Canadians now supported reducing economic dependence on the U.S., a massive jump compared to pre-tariff conflict sentiment. Canadian businesses quickly adapted to this changing landscape. Suncor Energy, one of the country's largest oil producers, reassured investors that it was well prepared for potential U.S. tariffs. Unlike competitors heavily reliant on American buyers, Suncor had access to the Trans Mountain Pipeline, which allowed it to transport significant amounts of oil to Canada's west coast for international shipping instead of depending solely on the U.S. Despite these efforts, Canada's deep economic ties to the U.S. would not be easy to untangle. For decades, the U.S. has been Canada's top buyer of oil and natural gas, shaping trade policies and energy strategies. In 2022 alone, Canada exported $22.4 billion worth of natural gas to its southern neighbor, highlighting just how intertwined the two economies are. But with the U.S. now signaling the possibility of more tariffs on Canadian energy products, anxiety rippled through Canada's energy sector. The looming threat of increased costs pushed Canadian leaders to accelerate efforts to tap into new markets beyond North America. Japan emerged as one of the most promising alternatives. With its surging energy demand, Japan ranks as one of the world's largest importers of liquefied natural gas, LNG. In 2023 alone, the country imported roughly 66 million tons of LNG, second only to China. While Japan continues investing in nuclear and renewable energy, its overall power needs are expected to rise, driven by the expansion of energy-hungry industries like data centers. If cleaner alternatives like hydrogen and ammonia fail to scale up quickly enough, Japan's LNG demand will likely remain strong, giving Canada an opportunity to step in. Canada holds a unique geographical advantage over other LNG exporters. Unlike U.S. Gulf Coast shipments that must navigate the congested Panama Canal, Canada's west West Coast offers a much more direct route to Japan. A shipment from Vancouver to Tokyo takes just 11 days, while U.S. exports face higher costs and delays. On top of that, Canadian LNG is significantly cleaner, 40% less carbon-intensive than its American counterpart, making it a more attractive option for countries prioritizing emission reductions. Recognizing this opportunity, Alberta's Minister of Environment and Protected Areas, Rebecca Schultz, has been working to strengthen energy ties with Japan. During a recent visit to Tokyo, she met with industry leaders from Japan's largest LNG purchasing companies and toured key energy infrastructure sites. Discussions with senior figures from Japan's gas industry focused on fostering investment in Alberta's expanding LNG sector and deepening the energy partnership between the two nations. While Canada is making serious moves to shift its trade focus toward Asia, the transition won't happen overnight. Decades of deep economic integration with the U.S. will take time to unravel. But with uncertainty surrounding American trade policies, Canada is being forced to rethink its long-standing strategies and carve out a new path for its economic future. At the forefront of this transition is LNG Canada, a massive export terminal under construction in Kitimat, British Columbia. With a staggering $40 billion investment, it is the largest energy project in Canadian history. Led by industry giants like Shell, Petronas, Mitsubishi, and Kogus, this facility will process and ship natural gas extracted from British Columbia's Montney Formation. By mid-2025, it is expected to produce 14 million tons of LNG annually, with plans to double that capacity in the future. Japan has already secured a strong presence in this venture. Mitsubishi's 15% ownership in LNG Canada highlights the project's importance to Japan's energy security. As Canada develops its energy infrastructure, British Columbia is set to become a major LNG hub, supplying not just Japan but other Asian markets hungry for reliable energy sources. Kitimat was chosen for this project for a reason. With its deep water port that stays ice-free all year, it's the perfect location for LNG exports. Construction has moved quickly, and the first phase is already over 95% complete. If everything stays on track, Canada's first LNG shipment could leave by mid-2025, marking a major milestone in the country's push to become a global energy powerhouse. But LNG Canada isn't the only project making headlines. Over in Squamish, British Columbia, another facility is taking shape, wood fiber LNG. Built on the site of an old pulp mill, it stands out for its commitment to sustainability. Unlike conventional LNG plants that rely on gas turbines, wood fiber LNG will run entirely on electricity, drastically cutting emissions and setting a new standard for greener energy production. As Canada moves forward with these projects, one thing is clear: the country is determined to reduce its dependence on the U.S. and secure a stronger position in global markets. But beyond economic benefits, these projects are also redefining how energy developments can work in harmony with indigenous communities. Wood fiber LNG, for example, has collaborated closely with the Squamish Nation, ensuring indigenous involvement in every stage of the project. This partnership has not only strengthened community support, but also set an example of how responsible energy initiatives can respect cultural and environmental values. Meanwhile, another groundbreaking project is unfolding in Kitimat. Cedar LNG, led by the Haisla Nation in partnership with private investors, is a bold move toward economic empowerment. Designed to export around 3 million tons of LNG annually, this facility will bring long-term financial benefits to the local community. It's also taking sustainability seriously by incorporating advanced low-emission technologies and electrification to minimize its carbon footprint. Strategically located near existing infrastructure, Cedar LNG is expected to operate efficiently, with its first shipments projected for late 2028, pending regulatory approvals. Further north, yet another ambitious development is on the horizon. Kasai Lissam's LNG, a joint venture involving the Nisga'a Nation, aims to be one of Canada's largest LNG projects. Using floating LNG technology, the facility will offer a more flexible and efficient approach to processing and exporting natural gas. With an estimated production capacity of 12 million tons per year, it has the potential to be a game changer for Canada's energy sector. What truly sets Kasai Lissam's LNG apart is its environmental commitment. Unlike traditional LNG plants powered by fossil fuels, this facility will run on hydroelectric energy, making it one of the most eco-friendly LNG producers in the world. If all approvals go through, the facility could be up and running between 2027 and 2030, further strengthening Canada's role in the global energy market. A key advantage of all these projects aspects is their location on Canada's west coast. Compared to U.S. Gulf Coast terminals, which require longer and more expensive transits through the Panama Canal, Canadian LNG facilities have a much shorter shipping route to key Asian markets like Japan. This translates to lower costs, faster delivery times, and a stronger competitive edge. Canada and Japan already share a strong trade relationship. As of 2023, Japan ranked as Canada's fourth largest trading partner, with total trade between the two countries reaching 36.5 billion Canadian dollars. Canada's exports to Japan amounted to 15.8 billion, while imports stood at 20.7 billion. Trade agreements like the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, CPTPP, have further strengthened these ties by reducing barriers and improving market access. Canada's growing LNG industry and Japan's rising energy needs have only deepened the bond between these two nations. Canada supplies the natural resources that power Japan's homes and industries, while Japan fuels the partnership with high-tech machinery, cars, and electronics. This dynamic trade not only connects their economies, but also drives mutual growth. For Japan, a steady energy supply is crucial, and Canada's LNG, coal, and propane ensure that stability. Canadian coal even plays a key role in Japan's steel production, vital for its construction and manufacturing. In agriculture, Canada, one of the top canola producers in the world, finds a major market in Japan, which relies on high-quality canola oil along with Canadian wheat, soy, pork, and beef. Beyond raw materials, Canada's mineral resources like copper, nickel, and iron ore support Japan's advanced electronics and automotive sectors. Meanwhile, Japanese companies such as Toyota, Honda, and Nissan not only export vehicles but also manufacture them in Canada, highlighting a successful exchange of expertise and innovation. This relationship has evolved over more than a century, marked by early trade in timber and seafood, and later challenges during World War II that led to painful chapters like the internment of Japanese Canadians. Despite these hardships, both nations have worked hard to mend and grow their ties, with official apologies and compensation fostering reconciliation. Today, the trade volume between Canada and Japan nears 20 billion Canadian dollars, with robust investments from both sides in sectors ranging from energy and agriculture to technology and clean energy. Their ongoing collaboration isn't limited to economics. It also thrives through cultural exchanges, education, and tourism, ensuring that the future of Canada-Japan relations remains as promising as ever. If you found this video insightful and engaging, make sure to show your support by hitting the like button. And if you want to stay updated on more content like this, don't forget to subscribe.